This is absolutely ridiculous. The new bill introduced today in the Senate and what it would mean for Social Security and Medicare beneficiaries, as well as the low income. I have all the details for you in this video. Let's get right into it. But if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video. There's a lot going on right now. Things are changing very rapidly, but I'm watching all of it closely. I'm doing all the research and I break it all down into these short videos so you can get the latest details hot off the wire as they're being announced, as they're being released, and as they are being discussed. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss any videos going forward during this incredibly busy time and very confusing time, so I can keep you updated with everything going on. All right, thanks again. Let's jump right into it. All right, so I do want to talk about a few different proposals within this one bill that was introduced in the Senate today. Now, I'm going to go through one of these one at a time here. There are a few different provisions that I certainly want you to listen to because it's very interesting. However, I want to throw this out there before I even get into it. The likelihood of any of this passing is probably very, very slim, but again, just like so many things out there right now, we've got to watch this very closely. And ultimately, it could impact the low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries of Social Security, retirement, SSDI, SSI, survivors, VA, possibly in a big way, and I want to let you know about this. But again, I just want to let you know what's going on out there. Things are changing so fast right now. So anyway, let's jump into these provisions one at a time. All right, so first off, this bill is actually being introduced by Senator Rick Scott out of Florida, and it's an 11-point plan. Within this 11 points, there's some very interesting ones in there, and I want to point out a couple of these that are kind of ridiculous, like I said at the beginning of the video. So let me break these down for you one at a time. Now, this first one is a little bit of an interesting one, and then I will get into that one that pertains to Social Security, Medicare, and all of the beneficiaries under those umbrellas, right? So let's quickly talk about this first one. The first one states that all Americans should pay a minimum tax. Let me give you an example about this because you might be thinking, what do you mean? I don't pay taxes. Yeah, right. Hang on. Let me break this down for you. So right now you might be hearing some of these remarks out of the administration, as well as a lot of Democrats right now are trying to pass these new rules and laws saying that all corporations need to pay a minimum tax of 15%. In fact, the president just talked about it the other day in the State of the Union address. Did you hear that? I certainly did. Anyway, that is something that they're currently working on right now. Regardless of how much income a corporation has or expenses, things like that, they still want to implement a minimum tax of 15%. That's corporations. I'm just using that as an example. However, this one provision within this bill is suggesting all Americans pay a minimum tax. Let me break this down for you. So as we know right now, there's a lot of people in this country, millions and millions of Americans right here, right now, who do not pay any taxes. Zero. Well, okay, let me take that back. We pay a sales tax. Of course, we pay property taxes. We pay all kinds of taxes like that. But my point is, there's a lot of people that don't pay income taxes. However, this proposal would suggest every person would be required to pay at least a minimum tax of $100. Yeah, right. Okay. So I don't know about you, but during a time when I'm not sure really who has an extra 100 laying around that they can just peel off and send in for fun and, just for giggles, I'm not really sure who's going to do that, but this plan would suggest that everybody, regardless of income, every single person would pay a minimum tax of $100. So again, kind of funny, kind of ridiculous, but anyway, this is what they're saying. So now I do know that there's a lot of you here in the community that receive fixed income benefits like Social Security, SSDI, retirement, survivors, SSI, VA, things like this. I would be willing to bet the vast majority of you probably do not pay taxes. Why? Well, because your income is probably low enough. Therefore, your income would be offset by the standard deduction and possibly other deductions that you take. Therefore, your income is zeroed out. You don't have a tax liability. Awesome, right? The best of all the worlds. You don't owe Uncle Sam anything. Sweet. That's cool, right? But here's the deal. Even in that type of situation, this bill still says, you still owe $100. Just because you exist, you would owe $100. So, yeah, right, like I said. So anyway, as I said at the beginning of the video, the possibility of this happening is very, very low. But again, I want you to know what's going on out there. In fact, some Republican senators were out today saying This is not going to happen. There is no way this will ever happen. We're not raising taxes on anybody. We're not doing that. We are not raising taxes, especially on the low income and the middle income families. Not happening. So that's a good thing. But anyway, just want to throw that out there. So that's one of the provisions. Let me talk about the one now that could potentially impact Social Security. Again, I'm not going to go through the list here. You know the list. I've said it a couple times now. The fixed income beneficiaries, including those people receiving Medicare benefits. Here's what the other provision states. All federal laws would need to be reauthorized every 5 years. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, the rule would say every 5 years, Congress would need to go in and once again reauthorize any federal laws. Therefore, programs like Social Security, Medicare, SSI, VA benefits, any of these benefits that are federally administered, these programs are. Basically, the rule would say every 5 years, they're basically on the chopping block, and the fate of these programs would be in the hands of Congress. How would that make you feel about secure, right? Remember, the name in Social Security is what? Security. Would that give you security knowing that every 5 years, potentially your benefits are on the chopping block and it's all in the hands of Congress? They could just pass a thing and say, done. We're not reauthorizing. We're done with this program. You've got to be kidding me. Seriously? There's no way. So my point is, as I said a minute ago, the likelihood of any of this passing is probably negative 1,000%. It's just not happening. There is no such thing. This will not happen. But very interesting to see some of these bills and proposals that are coming out right now, like being introduced. There are so many different things coming out right now. I mean, honestly, you see what I talk about in these videos, right? The things that I bring to you. Again, I want to bring you the details of as far as what is being introduced right now. But again, this is just another one out there where, again, many people are coming out saying there's no way. We're not going to reauthorize federal laws every 5 years. Social Security is a program that has been around for many, many decades. And realistically, it's going to be around for many more decades to come into the future. Yes, it does have some problems ahead of it, but the deal is, they're probably going to work their way through it and they'll figure out a solution. Social Security is a way too big of a program for them to just come up one day, Congress, and say, okay, well, we've hit our five-year mark here. Let's go ahead and figure out if we're going to reauthorize this program or if we're going to let it go right into the ditch and right into the gutter and just disappear. No. It's not happening, okay? It's not happening. Just like the minimum tax, again, not happening. Not anytime soon anyway. However, maybe it's giving some people in Congress some ideas. Let's hope not. We don't need them coming up with any more of their great ideas. I think all of us know how their great ideas have really panned out in the past. Yeah, they're not such great ideas at the end of the day. But anyway, let's just hope that something like that were to never come. Honestly, I don't think it would. If it did, it's probably going to be several years from now if anything like that were to come. But anyway, these are a couple of the proposals that are out there right now within this plan. But again, I just want to reiterate, the likelihood of any of this happening is probably 0%. I mean, seriously, let's just call it 0%. There's like no way that they're going to put these massive programs like Social Security and Medicare and all of the programs within them, basically all federal laws, on the chopping block for Congress to reauthorize every 5 years. There's just no way. That's just not happening. But anyway, it's kind of interesting to look at this today because many senators were coming out pushing back on this immediately, saying there is not a chance. We're not doing this. We're not taking any of these provisions up. It's not happening. This plan is not happening. We're not implementing a new tax on people. We're not going to tax people even more right now when they're struggling. Anyway, kind of interesting stuff. But again, there's so many things going on. It's like unbelievable to watch all this shake out and to see all these different things being introduced right now. But anyway, like I said, my dedication and commitment is to be here for you, to bring you all these updates, to help you out in any way that I can, and to be right by your side to help you navigate this very confusing time with so many things going on right now. Anyway, just thought you'd maybe find it to be interesting as far as some of these things that are being introduced, as well as maybe get a couple of laughs out of this, like, yeah, it's not happening. But anyway, of course, I'll continue watching everything closely. I will keep you posted as we do get more details. There's a lot going on in the world right now. I hope that you are staying safe out there. Either way, I'll continue watching it closely. I'll bring you those updates as we do get them. And I'll just continue to be here for you. That's my dedication, and I'm sticking to it. So thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other 2,200 plus videos right here on the channel. Enjoy your day, and I'll catch you again later.